Hey guys, I'm here today with a tutorial using Dollar Tree items. So if you have a trampoline, if you like to save money, this tutorial is for you. It is so fast, simple, cheap, and you should have all the other items that are needed to complete this craft in your home. So the materials you're going to need are Dollar Tree noodles, the ones that you see at the store. They're really long. You can pick any color you want. You can pick multiple colors and interchange them. But what we're going to do is use these noodles to cover the springs that are on your trampoline. Then you're going to need something to cut the noodle with. This is a little scary, but I'm using a very old knife. I like knives better than I do blades, but if you have a blade, that will work as well. And you're going to need a measuring tape and a calculator, which I just use my cell phone for. Now, don't make the mistake that I did. I went to the Dollar Tree first before measuring and counting my springs. So when I went to the Dollar Tree, I eyeballed how many noodles I thought I was going to need, and I picked up 6 total noodles. And when I got home after doing my math, I realized I only got half of what I really needed. So measure your springs first and then count how many springs you actually have on your trampoline. Everybody's trampoline can come in various different sizes. I think mine is like a 15-foot round trampoline. So this math is going to be based on my trampoline, but keep in mind how many springs you have and how long your springs are. Okay, so what you're going to do on the math, and I'll include the visual below, is the first thing you're going to do, like I said, is measure your spring. And when I measured my spring, they were 6 inches in length. You don't need the width, just the length. And then what I did was I measured the noodle, which you can do once you get to the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure that the information is actually on the noodle. It's not on mine. So you are going to need to take something to measure at the Dollar Tree with. And then you'll just take your measuring tool, and this noodle is 47 inches in length. So then what you're gonna wanna do is take 47 divided by 6, which is the length of your springs. And then when you take 47 divided by 6, that will give you a number roughly like 7.8. So that means I'll get 7 good covers for each. So I'll get 7 covers for 7 springs. So 7.8 isn't quite 8. So I'm going to have just a little bit left over from each noodle that's not gonna make the springs you have, which I have 90. Then what I would do is, if one noodle yields 7, then I would try to do 7 times whatever number is going to get you closest to 90, and at least one noodle over, so that you have like a backup noodle just in case. But that will give you the count on how many noodles you'll need. So for me, I figured out that I would need a total of 13 noodles to get 90 covers. Once you've purchased your noodles, you're still going to need your measuring tool and then your knife. Now this process is fairly easy. Also, I just want to warn you, obviously be very careful when cutting, and if you are going to do this outside like I was doing, do not cut over your mat because you don't want to cut into your mat. It's actually fairly easy for me to hold it in the air. I don't need to set it on anything, but I also cook a lot with a knife, so I'm used to it. So what you can do is you can take a pen and you can start marking every 6 inches or however long your springs are, and then you can cut all at one time. But I just kind of do one at a time, and I'll just sit here and get my 6 inches. I'll take my knife and I'll just kind of eyeball it, and then I can let go of my measuring tool, and then I just cut through. And there you are. Now, the way to get this around the spring, you also have to cut on one side to get an opening so that this can wrap around the spring. So as you can see, I hold this in my hand. Of course, do whatever you feel is safest for you. And you don't want to cut all the way through. You're only going to cut like this. And that's it. And you stop once you get to the middle so that you only have an opening like this. And then it slips very easily around the spring. I would recommend cutting all of your pieces at once and then putting them together on your trampoline. Now this is where the colors come into play for you. You can alternate colors and make it a sea of pretty colors. I'm going with just one. I do like my backyard to look a certain way, and I kind of wanted to go with a green because it blends in with the earthy tone colors, and it's a plus because it's my daughter's favorite color. So I definitely didn't want there to be like too much brightness and too much color because it doesn't go with the theme of my backyard. So if you want to, keep your theme in mind when choosing your colors. So I'm going to take you over to my trampoline. Okay, so here's my trampoline, and as you can see, I've already done a couple already. Here is the one I just cut from the video. Here's the opening. And here's my spring. It's getting rusty, which this is also really great because this will protect the spring from weather, and sometimes springs are known to fly off and they can really hurt somebody and do damage. So with this, if it ever flies off, it will probably fly off with the foam and protect anyone or anything. This is also safe because now my daughter can't land or hurt herself on the springs. So not only does it look pretty, but it's also safe as well. And as you can see, it fit perfectly right around the spring. I'm going to cut up the remainder and cover the rest, and I'll show you the after. What I love about this tutorial is how cheap it was to make this simple update to my trampoline. When I originally bought this trampoline, it was very nice. It came with all the guards over the springs, and it had the net, and then children use it and jump on it, and eventually, and even the weather will eventually take a hit on the covers for the springs, and then the net will take a hit as well. Especially where I'm from in Dallas, when it snows, people don't realize that it can snow here, but it does. And it can weigh really heavily and tear the nets. So I love that I was able to go to the Dollar Tree, buy $13 worth of noodles, and make a very pretty, simple update. And it's safe, it looks nice, and next year I can change the color if I want to. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.